Hi guys, it's Linton here from Greenbox Markets. If I sound a little bit funny, it's because I went to the dentist the other day and I've had a root canal done, so my mouth is still a little bit swollen. So I might sound like I'm slurring a little bit. Too much whiskey last night. So we've got a short setup on the CAD yen, and I'm just going to run you through that quickly because it's a really nice setup to actually learn from. So if we have a look at the chart over here, we can see the initial impulse here on the left hand side. Now bear in mind that we're starting with the monthly chart here, hey? So this is a really big time frame to have a look at. But the reason we're doing that is because the setup is so nice. I want to show it to you. So we've got this initial impulse here. Then we've got the three-wave corrective structure. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So this works on monthly time frames as well, guys. It works on any time frame. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3 waves on a monthly time frame, and that did break to the downside. We had a close below it. Okay, on smaller time frames, we probably got a setup for that trade over there, but we didn't take it. Obviously, this was quite some time ago. So I'm running through the current setup as it stands now. So we've seen the impulse, the corrective structure, and I'm still expecting to see a break to the downside here because of the closes below. Now the interesting thing is that we can actually see, and we're going to have a look at it on the daily time frame, but we can actually see this 1, 2, 3 wave structure that is formed over here, and that's more or less at the bottom end of the structure on the monthly chart. So this is something that we see quite often, where a structure forms inside the other structure or on the bottom end or top end of the particular structure, and quite often that does indicate still that the break will go in the initial direction that you anticipated. Obviously, we've only got to trade accordingly and on the breaks, but this is what we're looking at. And remember that this is a monthly chart, so there could be a really big move to the downside here. If we look at that impulse there, a similar sort of move to the downside would be a lot of pips. In fact, let's have a look quickly how many pips that would be. So just more or less from the top to the bottom there. 5,500 odd pips, guys. That's a really big trade, and that just took a couple of months. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, about a year, guys. For 5,500 pips, that's not bad going. Okay, so let's drop down to the weekly time frame and have a look at that smaller structure, the one that's forming at the bottom of the bigger structure. So here we can quite clearly see what I'm talking about. 1, 2, 3 waves. And at the moment, I'm expecting the completion of the fourth wave to the bottom. It's not set in stone that this can't break to the upside. So if we do take any trades, we need to keep our stops at this kind of level here, so that if it does break to the upside, our stop is minimal. And we're watching that level quite closely. So if we do get a break to the upside, we will stop out. Alternatively, we're looking for reasons to enter this trade to the downside and hopefully holding it for that entire trade based on the monthly time frame. And here you can actually see that my entry is in the market already, and I'm going to run you through that. This is a bit of a freebie for you guys. Okay, so if we go down to the daily time frame, here's still the smaller structure that I was talking about, and obviously it becomes more apparent now as we can see it on the daily time frame. So there's 1, 2, 3 waves. And what are we currently seeing? So we're seeing the formation of the fourth wave. So we're expecting this fourth wave to the bottom of the structure over here. But what is currently happening is we're seeing an impulse, a corrective structure, and then we should see an impulse down to there to complete this fourth wave to the bottom on the bigger structure. And hopefully at that point, we will see the continuation, the break on the bigger trade. So this is pretty textbook, that what we're looking at. I want to go down to the 4-hour time frame. So as we step down time frames, this is becoming more and more clear. So here we can see this initial impulse on the left-hand side, that being the trade that I've taken, expecting it down to the bottom of the structure over here. So the impulse, the 3-wave corrective structure, and we've seen that 3 waves is quite popular on this currency pair. So 3 waves, and then I've entered the trade over here, and the reason for that is if we step down to the 1-hour time frame, you will see over here that on the 1 hour time frame, it's exactly the same situation. So we've seen a 1, 2, 3 wave structure on the 1 hour time frame. So if we draw in that, sorry, let me make that more clear. If we draw in that line across over there, you can see the 1, 2, 3 wave structure, and it has closed below. Okay, so that support of that structure has broken and it has now become resistance. Also trading below my moving averages, although they don't have a huge effect on the market, I use them as indications, and we can see quite clearly that this 1 hour structure has broken to the downside. So I'm expecting at least a move down to there. So let's just pop back to the 4 hour time frame quickly. So we're expecting to see at least this move down to here now. And then we're going to wait and see what the price does at this level. If it breaks this level and it continues down, we should see the bottom of the bigger structure quite comfortably, which is also a very, very nice trade. Let's just have a look at how many pips that would be. So from my entry point all the way down to the bottom there would be over 400 pips. Really, really nice trade. If, however, that bottom doesn't break now, there is a possibility of this becoming a 5 wave structure to complete there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 before it breaks to the downside. So at this point over here, we're going to have to watch price action quite carefully to see from there which direction it's going to go. We will obviously look at smaller time frames and see whether we get any sorts of bounces with little flag formations indicating a turn, or if we do see the break, we should see something along those lines with a secondary smaller structure and a continuation on that trade. So guys, that's what I'm looking at the CAD yen pair at the moment. I'm in the trade already and hoping to hold it all the way down, keeping my stops sort of just above on the daily time frame, above the top of the structure that I showed you. Trade with care and take care. Cheers.